What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 13. This is episode 17, and the episode is titled "A Whole Lot of Mess." Now, you guys, I'm sorry. Well, this video is a little late, and it's late because you guys, if you guys don't follow me on social media, you guys should. I am on Twitter at Jbsayzwhat1. I'm on Instagram at Jbsayzwhat, just like the channel. I have a Snapchat. I just don't use Snap. I'm more prominent on Twitter. I tweet live tweet with you guys. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys would see that today I went and got the first, the first of the vaccine shot. So I got the Pfizer shot. So I will say right now, I got it in this arm. It's a little tense, but that always happens to me anytime I get a shot. Any shot that I've ever gotten in my lifetime, my arm is always tense. But other than that, I feel fine. No chills, no nothing. But I'll let you guys know by Tuesday how I feel when we do the Delilah review as well as the Oval. And then I go back for my second shot on May 2nd, which coincidentally is my older brother's birthday. But without further ado, you guys, shall we talk about this episode? I'm so thankful that we are on one episode left of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then we go to the reunion. The reunion could be 2 parts. Hell, they could even give us 1 part, and I will be fine with that. As far as Real Housewives of Atlanta goes, I am really debating if I'm going to review next season at all. It's just, I don't know. But you guys, without further ado, let's get into the review. All right, you guys, actually, before we get into the review, I will let you guys know that when it comes to the Real Housewives of New York City, I am going to be adding them to the list of shows that I review. I've been watching New York for a while, and I love New York, so we'll add New York. So this episode, it picked up where the last one left off. You guys remember, we are at Blaze, and you guys remember Marlo walked in, and she was speaking to all the ladies. Porsha paying her dust, which I don't blame Porsha for that. I don't. But Marlo makes it a point to apologize to Porsha and to the ladies for her actions out there in New Orleans, because she realizes that she was wrong for calling them fake bitches and all that stuff. So Porsha was like, girl, whatever. I'm good on Marlo. Now here's something interesting. Have you guys been paying attention to what's been going on social media with all the ladies? I know the issues with LaToya and her soon-to-be ex-husband. That's a mess. Porsha and Marlo. So you guys know Porsha's on Dish Nation, and they were talking about Marlo. I think it was this week, and Porsha was talking about Marlo had liposuction, which they discussed in this episode, and she said that Marlo was mixing her medication with alcohol. Marlo. Now see, when the girls get mad at Porsha, they always want to drag Candy into time. But then Porsha said that Candy was trying to drag her. And people were telling Marlo, like, Marlo, girl, you reaching at this point, because Porsha said you were on prescription medication for liposuction. The girl never said was doing illegal drugs, and that's what Marlo was trying to say. She was hinting that she was doing illegal drugs. No, she wasn't. So Kenya pulled Candy to the side to let Candy know that Mark has shown up in Atlanta for Brooklyn's birthday. When it comes to Kenya and Mark, I want better for Kenya. I'm just gonna say that I want better for Kenya, because I think she deserves better. Despite how I might feel about Kenya, she's not my favorite person, but I don't dislike her like that. Like people would think I don't dislike Kenya. But when it comes to Mark, she deserves so much better than what she's getting, because Mark is clearly using her, and we're going to see it in the finale next week. So she tells Candy that Mark is there. He came early, but she doesn't know where Mark is going to stay, because when she goes to New York, she gets a hotel room, and I think to myself, that's your husband, and you guys share a child together. Why do you get a hotel room when you go visit your husband in New York? Why not stay with your husband? I mean, if this were a normal loving, because I don't see the love. I don't feel the love from Mark. I mean, if this was a normal loving relationship, you would think that he would say, you're my wife, that's my child. Why y'all staying in a hotel? Come on over here to the crib. Like, this is my house, is your house. Very confusing. I'm with Candy and Kenya, not Candy and Kenya, Candy and Cynthia. I'm kind of confused. What is Kenya holding on to? Is it the idea of a marriage that she's holding? Is it the idea of marriage that she's holding on to? Is the ideal of a family? And even with this family, it's an unconventional family because you have Brooklyn, you and Brooklyn live in Atlanta, whereas your husband lives in New York, so it's very unconventional. Now, I could see it if, we know his businesses are there in New York. I could see it if he was, going back and forth, like he goes to New York for X amount of days, but then he hops on a plane and hightails it right back to Atlanta to be with his family. I would understand that more than this, where he just lives in New York and he very rarely comes and visits. It's just interesting. But I just don't understand what she's holding on to. I just think it's the idea of a marriage. But like I said, Mark is clearly checked out of this marriage. I want better for Kenya. So then once again, the ladies discuss the situation in New Orleans. So then Porsha and Shamia bring up the fact that Marlo had liposuction instead of, because Marlo was saying in New Orleans that her back was hurting because her nephew jumped on her back and she had a back brace on. But they're talking about the fact that it was her getting lipo. I don't really care, to be quite honest with you. It is what it is. Let's move on. All right, you guys. So I'm re-recording this because I had a scenario that I discussed, and even with the scenario that I discussed, I got confused. So we're talking about Drew real quick. So we see Drew. So Drew and Ralph are at their home. They're working out, right? So then they sit down and they start having a conversation with one another. And this conversation is about their baby's blessing. So I'm going to assume a blessing is like a baptismal or christening, right, you guys? People come up with new terms for these things, so I just don't really be knowing. So the prophet Lot, he was supposed to be the one that was going to bless the baby. But he's not going to do it anymore because of this alleged inappropriate relationship that he had with LaToya, which for the life of me, when Drew was talking about it, I kept just thinking to myself, what does that have to do with you? Okay, according to you, he had an inappropriate relationship with LaToya. Why is he then not qualified to bless your baby? Like, I don't understand that part. But then let's just say, for the sake of saying, he's no longer deemed good enough to bless your baby. Why not find somebody else that can bless your baby? Why not find someone else? Your mother is a preacher, right? Why not have your mother bless your baby? You know her, you trust her, you love her, right? Perfect person to do it. So Drew's thing is with Pastor Lot. So Pastor Lot, and this is alleged, that him and LaToya, well, actually LaToya got a room for Pastor Lot and him. They spent the night together, allegedly, and the next morning they went to breakfast, again, allegedly. I'm just drawing I'm just drawing a blank with that situation. What does any of that have to do with Drew? And I love Drew. I like Drew. I really do enjoy Drew, but this one is just one of the situations where I got to be like, Drew, is it just because you dislike LaToya? And the fact that I'm sitting here defending LaToya, someone who I don't like on this show, I don't get where Drew's coming from. I really don't. I don't see it. I don't understand it. It actually makes no, I was about to say it makes little to no sense. it just makes no sense to me. Like, I think Drew is just, she found something that she thinks she can hold over LaToya's head, and that's this. But again, I just don't understand what this situation has to do with, I did not hit that. I just don't understand what this situation has to do with Drew. Like I said, Drew, why don't you get your mama to do it? Someone you know, love, and trust. It ain't that hard. Just saying. But let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys, next let's discuss Cynthia. So with Cynthia, it might not be a lot. I do want to give kudos and, you know, a shout out to Cynthia for what she did in this episode with her pop-up shop that she did with Porsha and just supporting the black businesses. I think that was a fantastic idea. You know, if you have this platform, why not use it for some good? So definitely put some eyes on local businesses in Atlanta that might not be flourishing in this particular time. So definitely, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Here we go once again. So they showed Drew talking to Cynthia and to Candy about LaToya with Pastor Lot, and I'm just like, again, Drew, why is this your concern? What does this have to do with you? Like, make 2 + 2 = 4, because right now 2 + 2 is equaling 6, and that's wrong. So I'm just not understanding the correlation with LaToya and Pastor Lot to Drew. I'm not getting it. It's not, the math is not adding up. You know, I can add it up, then I subtract it, then I divide it, and when you multiply it, it just doesn't equal anything. It does not compute, is what it does not do. So Toya shows up, and then Candy goes up to her and she tells her, you know, people have been talking about you. She says that, you know, Drew told us that, you know, you and the prophet was having an inappropriate relationship with each other. And God, I cannot believe I'm about to defend LaToya. I really can't believe I'm defending LaToya. But I'm going to defend LaToya in the same way I've defended Porsha when it comes to the Bolo situation. I'm going to defend her the same way. Like I said about Porsha with Bolo, why does it matter to any of you guys who she sleeps with, who he sleeps with? It ain't you. Why are you concerned? Now, the situation with LaToya is a little different, but I still have the same stance. Why do y'all care that she allegedly slept with Prophet Lot? Yes, LaToya is married, but LaToya is also going through a divorce, and she's separated from her husband. I'm not going to speak too deeply on that about if she should be doing it or not. And she's married, technically still married. I'm not going to speak toward that. That is between she and God, not me, her, and God. But even if she slept with Pastor Lot, if she slept with a homeless man off the street, if she slept with your mama or your sister, why y'all care? She's a grown-ass woman. She can do whatever she wants to do. She doesn't have to answer to you guys. So I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. And it's, you know, let me stop saying to you guys, at this point, Drew is acting like Kenya with the Bolo situation. Gotta be honest with you guys. It's like you got this dead horse. It's like you got the dead horse on the street, and you got your stick, and you just jabbing at it, jabbing at it, jabbing at it. Wake up, wake up, wake up. But it's dead. So then we see the ladies, they go into the wine cellar. Oh my God, they continue to talk about it some more. I'm like, why are we still talking about this prophet? Because it says, so the ladies went into the wine cellar and talked, and that's when Drew tells Latoya what she heard. And it's just like, again, Drew, why do you care? What does that have to do with you? I mean, preachers, prophets, they're still human at the end of the day. They're still human. They have flaws. They mess up. They're not perfect. And I think that's one of the issues with the black community and the churches. When it comes to your preachers, your pastors, I feel like people put them on such a high pedestal that when they make a mistake, I feel like when you put them on a I feel like when it comes to your preachers, your pastors, I feel like people, especially in the black community, I feel like you guys put them on such a high pedestal that if they make even one mistake, it's a wrap for them. I mean, y'all do know that they're still human. I mean, I know some preachers that, have their first ladies, but they also have a second lady, and a third, and a fourth, and a fifth. But that ain't got nothing to do with me, and you ain't heard that from me. But like I said, I just know that. Like, actually, oh, never mind. Shut up. Don't even say that, because I was so surprised that this one pastor in my hometown, I mean, he is the biggest hoe. Literally, he's the biggest hoe. And I was like, I would have never guessed it. I would have never guessed it. But yeah, let's move on. All right, you guys, and then let's wrap up with Kenya. Again, Kenya, love. I want you to want better for yourself and for your daughter. I just want you to show your daughter how a man is supposed to treat her, because the way that Mark treats you, no woman should be treated like that at all. It just shouldn't be. He's an asshole. He's rude. But Kenya invited. Now, here's the thing that confused me with this scene. So we saw a scene earlier where Kenya FaceTimed Cynthia because she got her breast reduction, and Cynthia was like, "So you want to have a titty reveal party?" And she was like, "No." She's like, "Well, how about you just invite some of the girls over that you're really close with?" And so we see who she invited over. I would have expected Cynthia and Candy, but Latoya and Marlo, I wasn't really expecting, because the reason why I say Latoya I wasn't expecting, because you just for the last few episodes you don't really know where Latoya and Kenya stand with one another. And Marlo, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I know people. I don't dislike Marlo. I want to put that out there. I don't dislike Marlo. Why do they have to walk so damn hard? Like, that makes no sense to me. Marlo, back to what I was saying. With Marlo, it's just so interesting when it comes to Marlo, because earlier in this season, she and Kenya were still going back and forth with each other. But at the midway point, Marlo decided to make up with her, which I still side-eye that, and I question that. And the reason why I side-eye and question it is because we all know if a certain person was on this season, Kenya and Marlo would have never made up. She would have still been talking about Kenya's skin and her booty. Like, let's keep it real. Oh, you guys. So, let's segue for just a second off. I'm talking about Kenya. Have you guys watched, I think it's called Family Reunion. It's on Netflix. And it stars Tia Mowry, Loretta Devine, and some other people. I don't know the other cast members like that, but I do know Loretta and Tia. And there was this episode where Tia's character Coco was on a reality show. It was called Trophy Wives. And if you guys are not familiar, Kenya she guest stars on there playing herself. Her name, she plays their cousin Kenya, which I don't think she's technically their cousin. I think she's a play cousin. So Tia's character Coco is she went on cousin Kenya's reality show called Trophy Wives, and it had two other housewives, Brandy Glanville from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was under her face. Stop touching your face, Brandy. And it had Candace Dillard Bassett from Real Housewives of Potomac playing Sunita Chanel. I got to give it to Candace. She did a good job with that episode. She did a great job. I enjoyed it. I laughed so much watching Candace. I have to give that to Candace. She did a good job. I know people don't like Candace, but I like Candace. She did a good job to me. But yeah, go check out Kenya and Candace and Brandy on Family Reunion. So let's get back to this. So Mark, he came to Atlanta for Brooklyn's birthday party. So I guess from videos and whatnot, you can see that they had a good time with each other. So they asked them, did you guys have a good time, with each other? Kenya, she's, once again, Mark is sending her these text messages. The issue that I have, like, Kenya, if Mark was really serious about the things that he says, and why does he have to vocalize it in a text message? Why can't he vocalize it in verbally? You know what I'm saying? He vocalizes things in a text message. That is BS. And I just want Kenya to move on with her life from him. That's really what I want. So then they talk about the pop-up shop. Toya calls Prophet Lot. Prophet Lot says it was, I don't know whose assistant this was. I don't know if it was his assistant or if it was Drew's assistant. But whoever the assistant was being messy and got involved and went back to Drew them. And that's where this whole thing, because Prophet Lot said he never told them anything. So I don't know who's lying, but somebody's lying. And I don't really care, to be quite honest with you. That's the truth. I don't care who's lying, but somebody's lying. And I'm not getting to the bottom of it because, again, I don't give a rat's behind. But that's the episode, you guys. Be sure to like this video and leave your comments. Subscribe to the channel, and also go over and subscribe to the Player channel. And if you guys, no, that's not it. You guys stay safe, take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, to wear your mask, and to socially distance. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, which is Married to Medicine. All right, you guys. I'll see you then. Bye.